But yeah, I've never been the best at time trials. The last time that I did like time trials, actually trying to get 100%, because they're a big part of Crash 3, as I was saying, that they're part of the 100% because time trials were introduced originally in Crash 3. They were not in Crash 1 or 2. That's why I think their inclusions in Crash 1 and 2 were to artificially inflate playtime, so you could actually try and get through levels as fast as you can, even though those levels were never designed to be played that way. And that's why some of the time trials are really, really long. Like, I think Sunset Vista's Platinum Relic is a really long time. It's like over 5 minutes. The Sunset Vista, something like that, was not meant to be speedrun. Spedrun. Speedran, whatever. They were not meant to be spedrun. We just use both past tenses. Ah yes, the future levels. My favorite aesthetic. I love the future levels, and they made future tense. Which I might do a separate video of me trying to play, like after finishing all 3 games, just trying to play Stormy Ascent and Future Tense as like a singular video. Probably a couple then was showing off the levels and stuff of the secret warp rooms for Crash 2 and 3. As far as I'm aware, I think I already showed off the 2 hidden levels with keys that were in Crash 1. Because they weren't hidden per se, you just had to get keys. Otherwise, you could completely ignore them. You could still complete the level. Those 2 levels were not a requirement. The secondary hog level, and I think the other one was a nighttime level. Yeah, they went towards your 100% for the gem count, but they weren't necessary for like the main progression, like every other stage was. Whoop. Whoop. But yeah, after I'm done with warps, I probably will do a special episode, which I can't say how long it'll be, but it'll be like probably a cut down version of highlights for doing Stormy Ascent and doing Future Tense. Okay. Along with maybe showcasing the other levels, maybe the original levels of the 2 warp rooms, because in my own time I wouldn't mind doing this 100%. I just didn't want to do it for the playthrough, because the playthrough would have just been a lot longer, especially since a lot of it is replaying the same levels. So going through the levels the first time for a Let's Play seems to be fine, but if I were to do the relics, I'd be going through the level repeatedly, especially if I don't get the relics. Because there's always a chance that I could do poorly and I'd have to restart. And that's just not fun to watch unless you're streaming, or people will just, people are genuinely interested in it for relic runs. And the only time that I'm ever interested in is if like that person gets a really difficult time, like a super impressive, super fast time. There's no reason for me to watch a relic run anyway, outside of that, or outside of seeing, well, okay, I want to be better at relic runs too. So what did they do? What shortcuts did they take? That's the reason why I would watch a relic run. I wouldn't watch it just to see, oh, how fast is he going? He's going pretty fast. Going almost too fast. I don't know why I paused there for that joke. You're red, and now you're green. You're green, baby. Thank you for exploding. Now this is where it's kind of silly, where you're so far in the game now. You're on, I think, we're on the 4th or the 5th out of 5 levels, and they give you a visual tutorial in the bonus level of what to use where. And this makes me think that this future level was probably meant to be like the first level that you hit, to just showcase that it was supposed to be the first level you were supposed to do, or the first level that was supposed to be in the lineup, that it was supposed to teach you how to do the Death Tornado spin and everything. Because, as you saw, the very first one, the Sphinxinator level, the very first level had a shortcut with the Death Tornado Spin style hole, and I knew it from experience, but a newcomer to this that wanted to try out Crash Bandicoot but didn't want to shell out the cash to get old copies or get an old PlayStation or hell even emulate it. There are people that are that lazy. Probably were genuinely curious about this, and they're like, okay, how do I do? How do I do? I'm not going to use the internet. How do I do, game? And then the game just doesn't tell you until after you've already figured it out. But that's always been my theory. It's always been my theory ever since I started playing this game when I was young, that this level was meant to come before those levels, but they were changed around, probably due to difficulty or due to the fact that the current way it works is probably the best way that they had it to separate the themes, I guess. I'm not sure what they were going for with the themes here, because the themes are not consistent. If anything, I have to criticize about Warped. As much as I love it, the time themes aren't consistent. Like, we're standing in an Egyptian pyramid thing here. You would think all 4 or all 5 of these levels would be Egyptian themed, but they're not. One's in the future. 2 are Egyptian themed. 1 is a jet ski level in the Pirate Age, and 1's a biplane, and I think that's during World War II. Or World War I. One of the World Wars. We got Tomb Raider. Now, this is the level that I mentioned earlier, a while ago, that I had actually seen a video when I was playing on one of the old PlayStation Underground demo discs that gave you a video tutorial on how to get the Platinum Relic in Tomb Raider. And I'm not going to actually do it right now because 1, I need the Crash Dash to do it, and 2, I'm not trying for a time trial, I'm just trying for a gem. Hey, Crystal. I haven't forgotten my purpose. But yeah, you got the rising water that you got to worry about. This is easier when I hit the bazooka, because I just aim at them. But with that jam-packed demo disc, I'm going to go back to that now because I stopped for some reason. That jam-packed demo disc was pretty neat, considering it told you a bunch of tips and tricks on how to use the double jump, how to use the Death Tornado Spin to keep yourself above the water, and how to time it perfectly with opening up those doors. Yeah, during that, I need to finish my thoughts. During the time trial, this bonus area, for example, is not accessible. Oh yeah, I forgot that. I shouldn't have done that unless if I wanted double life. Turn. Again, it seems like this level was meant to be before Sphinxinator, because it has icons telling you what to do. I don't know why the levels were rearranged. Maybe this is a Crash Bandicoot 1 thing where the levels were rearranged, like in Japan or something. Because what hit me? Was it the door? I wish you could fly like you, Beetle. Anyway, that Crash Bandicoot 1 had a couple levels moved around. I forgot what the exact names were. I think it was Sunset Vista and Slippery Climb were switched around. I think. Don't quote me on it, but I know there were 2 levels that were switched around for the Japanese release because one of the levels was more difficult than the other, and in the North American and PAL regions, NTSC and PAL regions, they were those, yeah. I know Sunset Vista was before the other one, so it was deemed harder, and therefore put towards later game in the Japanese release, which is hilarious to think about, considering the whole idea with like Super Mario 2: The Lost Levels. They thought we were too dumb and we couldn't handle challenge, and then the polar opposite happens. We seem to handle the challenge fine, but it was Japan that couldn't seem to handle the challenge, at least not in the original order. It's probably just for a gem. That would be a method right there that you would use to get through that as quick as possible. The Death Tornado Spin Dash. Or technically, this bonus area is making you use that method in order to actually teach you it, which is fine. Learning by doing is always great. Alright, got the blue gem. Now to die. I still don't even have the crystal, so there would be no point in me taking that warp. Sometimes I do think that, I don't think the original conceptionists, the conceptual people that made the levels, thought that players, god damn it, would do that, would go out of their way to go through like the death route, for example, and get the gem, die, then go and get the rest of the things. It could have been the general consensus that we think every player is going to do the level once, get the gem, regular crystal, and then come back for the special gem. But no, I say nay. If I'm able to get it, I'm going to get it. But yeah, you would do something like that during the time trial. And that's how you would run. But obviously, you would have the crash dash, so you'd be moving faster than this. Oh. Fancy that, that killed me. I guess this guy is just exceptionally tall, because that doesn't bother him at all. And so is that guy in the boot. But he's not immune to my spins. That's a TNT crate. I just love the fact that Coco and Crash cannot swim. And it's always been just hilarious when you play Crash 1 or 2 and then Coco just dies by falling in the water. And she's just sitting there. She's fine and everything. And she just looks confused as to, oh, Big Brother couldn't swim? I knocked over my water bottle. Anyway, to finish my thought, yeah, Big Brother couldn't swim? Oh my. I missed a box? Or did I miss a box? Whatever. Again, not 100% playthrough. I'll just go buy it. I'll just go through it again if I decide to play this again. Off screen, of course. Alright, we're going to get the engine battle, which is probably one of the more creative battles that the Crash Bandicoot franchise has had. And it's the only time we get to go into space outside of Crash 2.
So, you want to go a few rounds? When this is over, we'll see who is obsolete.
We'll see who is obsolete. Obviously not me. I'm from 1997. Shoot his belly. I'm trying to shoot his belly. Yeah, it's a space fight. Ain't that something? One of them is down. Two of them are down. Three of them are down. Okay, down I go. I don't want to be hit by your turrets. I thought I got hit there for a second. Alright. Alright, cool. When I first played this fight, I thought this was the end of it, but then I realized there's a phase 2. And this is significantly easier than the original PS1 variety. Hi, Pora. I'm pretty sure this is new. This is also new. I don't want to skip. Yeah, you just have to avoid those things. You can't shoot them down like you can the rockets. Sparkly. I'm just holding down square. Down and out. Well, he's not out yet. He's going to be, though. Yeah, I did that whole thing without taking damage. That is how much easier that is. I got a fruit bazooka. I like how we can just float around this one thing of space and just look at the clouds that are somehow in space, and then look at the Earth over there. Well, let's go. Let's go, Pora. I did that entire thing without taking any damage. And there's not a difficulty slider or anything for Crash. For any of the Crash games, there's not a difficulty slider. They made it easier.
It's funny how history repeats itself. Yet again, Engine has failed to defeat you.
What? For this we must destroy you.
Oh, my aching head. I'm not feeling myself these days. So the end is in sight. Gather another 5 crystals, and again you will have foiled my plan. Or will you?
I like the fact that I saw Crash. You usually just end up seeing Crash there for a second. Alright, we're on to the 5th warp room, but before we go there, I will give credit, again, I think I've already given credit to Lex Lang. Lex Lang has been Cortex since Twinsanity. He's been Cortex since 2004, so 2019 is the year of this recording. So he's been Cortex for about 15 years total. Granted, he was only Cortex for 4 years until Crash went into almost complete 10-year slumber, not counting a few mobile games that were released here and there that nobody knew about or cared about. But he voiced Cortex from Twinsanity up until Mind Over Mutant. And then he reprised his role again in this, the Sane Trilogy, and CTR. Because I believe the Crash Nitro Kart mobile games, Crash Nitro Kart 3D, and then Crash Nitro Kart 2, which have nothing to do with the original Crash Nitro Kart, ended up reusing clips from the previous game, so he's technically not in that. But his likeness is, because they reused clips. But hey, we're on the last warp room. The last warp room. The last warp room. Did I mention the last warp room? Anyway, we're gonna head to the last warp room.